Sometimes you just gotta laugh your butt off. I mean, this is absolutely hilarious. Thanks for reporting this, Silver Doctors. With a bullion bankster from RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland, as the guest host, the latest CNBC Commodities Corner attempted to claim gold is, quote, in a bubble. Now, I recognize it's about $1,800 again. And when it was touching $850, oh, we hadn't seen prices like that since 1980. Gold's in a bubble. It's going to crash. Didn't crash. $1,000 gold. Gold's in a bubble. All the experts, same nut bozos, clowns on TV claiming to be experts, and I'm from the bank of such and such, and I'm from this fund, and I'm an expert. Yeah, okay. So where were you experts out at $850 gold? Guess it wasn't in a bubble. It's double that now. More than double. $1,000 gold. Same thing. Same stories coming out. Gold's in a bubble. Gold's in a bubble. Stay away from precious metals. It's going to collapse. $1,200 gold. Even Representative Wiener, Bozo, from New York, I think. Glenn Beck even got on his case because he was getting on Glenn Beck's case because he was claiming, all Glenn Beck's doing is pimping this gold line that he always talks about, advising people to get into gold. Gold's in a bubble. It's going to collapse. That was the same guy who was found showing himself naked or doing something like that. Showing naked pictures or something. Congressman Weiner, something. Probably both, Weiner and Weiner. That was $1,200 gold. That was a bubble. Mr. Representative, Senator, Congressman, whoever your clown, sorry butt thinks you are with this title as if you're somebody important. You lost your job, but gold and silver still kept going. They didn't crash down into a bubble scenario when a bubble pops. That's right. We've seen $25 silver, which is now back to $35 silver in a matter of mere weeks, technically speaking. That is a huge move. Same with gold. I mean, gold was down touching in the high $1,600 range. $1,600, $1,700, $1,800. Here we are again. So $1,200 gold, another bubble. All the way up to $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 bubble. It's a bubble. You don't need gold. And it just keeps climbing. And it keeps climbing. So the way humans are, is they'll listen to the experts. They will. Well, this guy is on TV. I'm not on TV. So the mere fact that he's on TV and they're calling him into the show to come over, this guy must know what he's talking about. He's wearing a suit and tie. He looks very professional. I'm going to listen to him. And people will recognize, I remember when freaking gold was 800 something. They said it was in a bubble. They said it again later, 1,200. Now it's it's freaking $1,800, and these guys keep coming on there saying that gold's in a bubble. Sooner or later, people get pissed off and realize these sons of guns are lying to me. It's not that they were wrong or they guessed it, the market moved a different way like I originally allowed them in my consciousness to give an excuse as to why they were wrong, because they were experts. And if an expert's wrong, then he must have made just a common mistake or something that's, it's acceptable. But they were wrong at $850, they were wrong at $1,000, they were wrong at $1,200, they were wrong at $1,400, they were wrong at $1,600. They were wrong at $1,900. Remember when it hit 19? Oh, it's back, came back down, 16, 18, 17, 1,600. Oh, see, we told you it was you told us it was in a bubble. 1,600, 1,700, 18, that's $200 more dollars back up. What happened on that one? And by the way, in other currencies, like I think the pound or the euro or something I was reading the other day, it's actually at the record high in those currencies. It's at the all-time world high right now. Imagine that. So, he claims that, again, this bozo claims that gold is in a bubble. $1,800 gold, it's in a bubble. With the metal nearing $1,800 again, claiming, quote, nobody actually needs gold, and that those wishing to allocate a portion little portion of their portfolio, or their funds into gold should utilize an ETF. You know what I love? I love how just yesterday I released my WebBot report summary. It's about an hour and 10 minutes or something long. And in there, it got and kind of early on, actually, probably within the first 10 or 15 minutes, it goes right into gold and silver and stuff. And in it, I kind of stop and give a little JSNP4 perspective and whatnot. And I even said in then that these clowns will tell you to take 10% of your portfolio, and if you must put it into gold, put it into some paper gold, such as an ETF. I said it then. I just said it. I'm here the next day reading this from Silver Doctors. Nobody actually needs gold, and that those wishing to allocate a portion of their funds to gold should utilize an ETF. Don't you dare tell people to get physical gold and silver, because there isn't any. And if any of you schmucks that we put on our TV show, thanks to the elite letting us let you on the show, you're only here to push people away from gold, as you did a good job because you said it's in a bubble, so we appreciate that. We want you to push people away from real retirement wealth such as gold. And if you have to mention it, go ahead and push the ETF, which is also the elite's paper game, which also keeps the physical gold back in their pockets and not yours, so that they can continue the fraudulent paper game. So this particular guy, the RBS guest, Royal Bank of Scotland guest host, he 1, 2, 3, perfect. The elite are clapping. It was a standing ovation. He followed the 3 steps. Gold is in a bubble. Nobody needs gold. Stay away from it. It's an old relic. And if you gotta have it, if you must have it, go get a paper ETF. And they say, unfortunately for CNBC, the producers didn't do their homework on their guest, managing director and CIO at Swiss Asia Capital, Mr. Jörg Kainer. He calmly shot down all of CNBC's propaganda, stating, quote, "Gold is actually money. When you believe that gold is actually money, would you rather have your money in your pocket, or would you rather give it to a loan shark? Physical ownership in your own hands is key." Regarding CNBC's claims that gold is in a bubble, he replied and said, quote, "I've never seen a bubble in which investors' allocation is under 1%. Very few people investing in gold. How could gold be in a bubble, right? Because for a bubble to take place, everyone has to flock to it. And because an extraordinary, non-normal, abnormal amount of people are flocking to something, just like the tulip bubble in the, 1600s, how could you convince people that tulips are some kind of thing of wealth? Everyone's flocking to the tulips. You gotta have tulips. They had a market and everything. And then the tulip market burst because it was a bubble. Everyone ran to it. How people could do that, I don't know. But they're convinced it was a thing to be in. Tulips. Boy, you got to do a lot with tulips. And it crashed. But an abnormal of people all got in on it. Are an abnormal amount of people, in other words, way too many people, getting into gold and silver? Let me give you his last quote. "I've never seen a bubble in which investors' allocation is under 1%. How can you have a bubble with almost, that's like saying there's 2 people in a market, one specific market. There's 2 people on the face of the earth. 6, 7 billion people. 2 people are in a market, and everyone else is saying that market these guys are in, it's in a bubble. It's going to burst. There's 2 people. Bubbles can't get created by people, like 2 people. Bubbles get created by massive amounts of people flooding into the market, flooding into whatever it is that they think is this great new thing you got to be in. Just like housing happened to housing. Everyone go get a house. I went and got a second house. I got a rental property. Everything was great until the collapse happened and the bubble burst. Lost both properties, had to foreclose on my house. Now I'm living in a tent, or maybe you're a little better than that now, not living in a tent and living in like a little duplex or something. Bubbles burst. That was a prime example of a bubble. Everybody got into the housing market. Everybody was affected by it. That was a bubble. Can I say everybody's into gold and silver? No. What you can actually do, and this is the truth. You can't dispute what I'm about to say. You could actually say there's hardly anyone in gold and silver. Oh my God. Compared to everything else. And if that's the case, $35 silver right now, $1,800 gold right now, holy crap, can you imagine where the prices are going to go when everyone else figures out that's the place to be? And it does become a bubble. And gold and silver will become a bubble when everyone figures it out, that it's the thing to have. It is the ultimate protector of wealth. And they will flock to it like you can't believe. And when that happens is when you will see the outrageous several hundreds of dollars per ounce for silver, thousands for gold, but on a performance comparison, silver will destroy gold. It already has. Homeschooling. Wife's yelling at the kid's not listening, I don't want to do it, they're screaming. I'm homesick today because I had a massive case of number 2, if you know what I mean, every few minutes, can't get off the toilet. I'm actually feeling significantly better at I never felt bad, I just was up all night, in the bathroom. So I said, I'm just going to stay home today. I told work I'm going to be here, been doing a few things for them remotely that they needed, but I took a sick day. Been telling my wife, you know what I need? You know what I really need? I need to get like a little 8x10 shed. Wood shed, nice little roof, got an opening door, one of those kind of things. And they're called utility sheds, technically, the kind that I want. They have them in barn shape, whatever, but the one that I want, it's like a little tiny mini house. It's got the little roof. It's called a utility shed. Because I don't know if you can hear the screaming as I'm trying to do a video right now. And this is kind of the sign. This was just the sign I needed. This was the sign that I needed to say, go ahead and call that one person that had a sale that was a shed for half price. It's like 1 year old. It looks brand new. Phenomenal shape. Go ahead and have them bring it over. Because that's going to be my new area. And the beautiful thing about that is I can put up a little wallboard, and then paint the whole thing green. And I'll have an entire green inside shed that I can do great video editing instead of this nonsense that I have to deal with in my laundry room. As well as kids coming in, wife coming in, dog barking. If someone knocks on the door right now, God forbid, dog's going to go ape. Can you imagine I'm trying to do a professional video here. I got my thing on. I'm doing my Bernanke thing, singing, and there's a dog barking, wife yelling, screaming at the kids. A man needs his private space. And if a freaking 8x10 shed is my man cave, for God's sakes, it's going to happen. Having said that, I'll be getting one. I'm going to go ahead and call him today and have him bring it over. This is another story, as the webbot said would happen. They will be bad-mouthing. They'll be fighting gold and silver prices tooth and nail during the summertime. Spot-on prediction. They did. And continued. CFTC, position limit rules, that got knocked down. Right? All this other stuff we've seen with silver and gold. The prices dropping out of nowhere, no reason. They were fighting it, just like the webbot said. And then the webbot said that then after that, they're going to start bad-mouthing gold and silver. It's not a good thing to have. They're going to, be pretty brutal on people sometimes. And I just did 2 other videos not too long ago. What was her name? Nancy Grace or whatever? The idiot guy, millionaire, buys freaking silver. What a loser. Nancy Grace, I'll punch your mouth loose. I don't care if you're a woman. You look like a man in a woman's body. Shut your mouth. So this is more of it. CNBC commodities guy, Mr. Royal Bank of Scotland, who needs you to invest in their ETF for gold and silver, which is tied to, the Elites ETF. Don't you dare get the physical. We can't have people doing that, because when they do that, there's going to be a shortage. And if there's a shortage, all of these millions and millions of contracts we have out there that claim that there's really physical silver and gold backing them will go up in smoke. It will cause an absolute frenzy to get your hands on physical silver at that point. Even if the price is destroyed to start with, I will not be parting with my physical silver. I will only be getting more. Take care. That's all Jason at 4 has for you.